Whew. Okay, hi, this is Sarah, and where am I? There I am. Yeah, I have literally the weirdest setup right now. I am currently using my water bottle as a tripod, and it's the weirdest damn thing in the whole wide world, and it's a decent angle. Okay, it's not a great angle. I'm not gonna lie, it's not a great angle. And it's a weird height, so I'm in a weird half crouch. That's fun. I wanted to talk about some stuff, really random stuff, and oh hey, I can adjust your, there we go. There, finally I can be in center frame. Again, did I mention it's a really weird, horrible angle? And always when I frame myself up, always, I know that I'm gonna talk with my hands. You know that I'm gonna talk with my hands. Okay, you might not know that actually. See, like it's already a weird, I need to, see, and now it's awkward. Now it's awkward. No, it was awkward like 2 seconds ago. So something really weird happened this week, and I want to talk about it, and while I talk about it, I'm gonna get ready for bed because it's stupid o'clock in the morning. Yeah, so I'm actually gonna do something that I wouldn't normally do. So I'm gonna tell you about my routine, and that is so I just got out of the shower. I actually realized I need to grab my hairbrush from my bathroom anyway. I'm gonna take you through stuff and junk. The only thing that's going to be out of order for what I would normally do, obviously, is normally I would put my PJs on after I did my body care stuff. That's the only difference to what's going to be normal, because I'm going to go get my PJs on now and also grab my hairbrush. So I will be right back, and I will probably be in a slightly less weird angle. I make no promises. Okay, 1 second. There we go. Hey folks. Ooh, yeah, wonderful. So I have a little bit of a breakout going on. Super fun. I'm also repping vaccines in this Vaccines Safe and Effective Since 1796 shirt, which I bought from DFTBA. They still have the merch store. Fantastic. This is for one of my favorite podcasts, which is called Sawbones, which is amazing, and you should definitely watch it if you've never watched it. So first I'm going to start with serums, and I'm going to work through everything from there. But yes, let's get to it. I'm going to start off with this caffeine solution from The Ordinary. This is for eyes and surrounding areas. I also like to put it on my divorce wrinkle. Your levensies, as some people put it, just because, I don't know, I've been using this for a while. Mostly it feels nice. Is it doing a huge amount for me? I don't know, but 90% of skincare to me is the self-care of it, and at least if I'm putting something there that's not hurting me, I'm doing something. I don't know. So this week I got an email congratulating me on 100 subscribers, which, considering I've been neglecting this channel for 8 years, thank you very much. Because of the way that the dashboard looks, I couldn't find the last person who subscribed and say thank you and welcome, but hey, something. Also, if you're watching this and you're not already annoyed and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. You can think about it. You might rethink it by the end of the video if you stay to the end. This is gonna be long. I should probably just mention that all of my videos are long. I don't know that they're entertaining, but they're definitely long. Then I'm going in with the alpha lipoic. This is like it's acid. I use that in place of a serum. I don't tend to double stack a lot of their products in particular areas because I find that they pill. Not to say that they don't disappear and seemingly soak in later. I don't know. I am not a skincare expert. I just put things on my face that I know won't hurt me. Also, this one is almost done. To the point where literally I'm just gonna take this out and anyway. So I wanted to talk about some stuff. I've seen some videos of last week. There were two. I don't think I'm gonna talk. I kind of wanted to respond to the Molly Burke video. Well, a video that Molly Burke put up. I just emptied that into my hand. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on my face and my neck. It's chemical exfoliator. Just gonna pat that in. I'm gonna let that really soak in before I move on with my face. I like to take that on my neck. And usually on my décolletage. I really like the alpha lipoic acid. I think this is the only one that they have that's the alpha lipoic. I don't know. I tried it on a whim when I put in my first order, and I've really been enjoying it. Yeah, it soaks in really fast. I wouldn't say it creates a burning sensation, but it's definitely like warming. But I feel comfortable with it. Like it's not causing me any issues or any pain. Also, before I move on any further, I'm going to also use a little bit of my benzoyl peroxide cream on my little spot on my chin here. Just to try and heal that up. Put that in the drawer. Anyway. So yeah. I did want to respond to, like, I wanted to say something about this video I'd seen from Molly Burke, because, yeah, maybe I'll just talk about it. I mean, it's just like one of those things. She was talking about being discriminated against in Ubers because of her service dog and how people don't know and how people need to be educated. And I mean, yeah, absolutely. And I find it really weird. And I don't know how people aren't, and I say that as somebody who came from Canada. Well, I'm currently in Canada. Years ago, I moved to the UK, and so I actually became a landed immigrant in the UK. I lived there for 6 years with the intention to continue to live there. But when you live there for 3 years, you have to apply because you're gonna stay. So you have to apply. You can't just you have to apply for permanent residency. It's expensive and there's a test. And I studied for the test, and I covered laws. I covered accessibility laws and stuff like that. It wasn't huge, but yeah, I covered laws about women's rights and accessibility laws and stuff like that. And you know what, I need to put my thoughts together on it, because there was a lot there, and I think it's something that needs to be talked about. But then there's loads of people who don't want to hear about accessibility rights anymore. Just like there's loads of people who don't want to watch a channel that's known for something else, and then they want to talk about their chronic illness, even though they should talk about their chronic illness, because they should talk about it. I wanted to talk to you guys, Oh, I'm drinking a chamomile tea, by the way. I wanted to talk to you guys about the Megan Ranks situation, you know? Because that's scary as hell. I mean, first of all, the fact that her channel having hundreds of thousands of subscribers and it was only worth $500 is crazy, but also the lack of response from YouTube. I mean, you know, it really, yeah. I just put it on some lip butter. That's the Coors lip butter in jasmine. I don't know, I felt like I had a lot to say. You know what, I watched that Molly Berg video the other day. I know, I'm going back and forth. I was in tears for her. It fucking broke my heart. That's, you know, I feel comfortable swearing because I can't be partnered with my 100 subscribers. It also told me how I was only 900 subscribers away. Like, this is no offense to any of you guys watching, if you're watching, but like, I laughed out loud at my desk because I was looking at that and I was like, if I gain subscribers continuously at the rate that I've been gaining them, I will be dead by the time I get that many, and this platform will also probably be dead. But thank you. No, like watching. I've watched Molly for years, and I remember thinking when she moved to LA, like, it was amazing, and I didn't know how she was doing it alone. And it was amazing and wonderful, but there was this part of me that was also like, and I'm gonna probably get shit for this, but I'm gonna be honest about it. A part of me that was also pissed off because I was so jealous. Because, you know, she was moving down to LA, and yes, she has an assistant, but she was gonna be living independently, and you know, she was so successful in her career, and I think I want to say it didn't bug me, but it did bug me because I have actually tried to not fail at life. I really have, you know, and I think a lot of us have. And I didn't want to see her wind up in a situation like she's been in. I didn't want to see Molly Berg crying on the internet because people are awful, terrible, awful, shitty people. And it's like when she did a video years ago now about how if you're visually impaired, you know, you shouldn't be afraid, and you should just get out there and get yourself a job, and you can do it. And I have been to so many job interviews. I had a job interview when I was in university for, you know what, I'm not gonna get sued because that location doesn't even exist. It was a Dairy Queen in Halifax. And I was, you know, it was the basic interview questions. I'm sorry, that's my dog snoring. It was basic interview questions. We all know and love them, you know. It always winds up eventually becoming, and what are your hobbies? Oh, I should talk to you. This is the multi-action NA114 R&R eye cream from Strivectin, which I haven't used. I want to show you guys. I haven't used it. This is still how much price. So it's in a giant jar, which is still got the sides, so it's not as big, but it's still only half full. Only half full. I don't know. Maybe I just got a dud. Anyway, so I'm in this interview for this Dairy Queen, right? And you know, the manager is sitting across from me. What are your hobbies? And I mentioned, like, one of my hobbies is cooking. Love to cook. Enjoy cooking. And he responds by saying, oh, well, like, that doesn't matter because everything's based on beeps and everything. And I was like, okay, awesome, blah, blah, blah. Carry on with the interview. And as we're finishing up, you know, he says, you know, is there anything, you know, anything else, you know, you'd like to, you know, ask me or talk about? And I was like, this is great. I can be honest about my eye condition because it doesn't matter. It's not going to impact anything. Everything's based on beeps. All I have to do is put burgers in fucking buns. Nothing is based on my judgment because they've designed this system for idiots because I'm not to be trusted. Great. So I disclose. You know, I just say it's not a big deal, especially if everything's on beeps. You know, I just, you know, whatever, as long as, you know, I mostly point out, you know, my color vision, but it's not a big deal because, you know, everything's based on beeps and, yeah. And it was just like one of those things where, you know, this guy sat there and he looked at me for a minute and it's just like, but will that impact your ability to cook burgers? And it's like, you just told me it didn't matter because it doesn't matter what my judgment is. I have to obey the beeps. Like, it was, you know, that's, you know, going for interviews for like a clothing store and having the girl I was interviewing with, you know, just trying to be honest and say, like, you know, I don't have color vision, but I'm very hardworking and I'm willing to do anything, and having a job turn from being like a really great starter position, it's okay if you don't have any experience, to actually we're looking for a key holder, somebody who can do opening and closing, you know. It's something that happens all the time. So Molly had relayed this story of how she'd gotten her first job when she went to see if she could volunteer at the YMCA, and then she was, you know, asked by the person there, like, why wouldn't you ask if you could have a paying job, you know? It was so fairy tale, and, you know, especially at the time, that girl was like 21, I was like 26 or 27 or 28 or whatever. I don't even know how old she is now. Watching her in this video and being a bitter old hag about it, and now come to find out she is just getting shat on like the rest of us, and it's not fair. I mean, it's weird to hold up somebody who's much younger than you as kind of a bit of a hero because she's being a boss ass bitch, and then to have, you know, have her admit over the last, you know, couple of years that actually, you know, her mom's been living down in the States with her off and on to make sure that she's okay so that she can live her dream, which, good job, Mrs. Burke, you know. But I don't think my mom would do that. I think I'm pretty sure she wouldn't. You know, and she's having so much trouble down there. Like, it's just so, I don't think people can understand it unless they've been through it, because, like, it's true. Like, we have this commercial for the city of Halifax. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the Boscha, I don't know, I don't have my glasses on. What does that say? Boscha something. Focus. There, it's that. So the city of Halifax has these commercials, their ads, their pre-roll ads actually. And the hilarious thing is, so they're all animated, but they start off with the narrator is being, well, you don't see the actual person narrating it, but they're being represented by a girl in a wheelchair to tell you about how great Halifax is and how everything's so connected and so accessible. And if you lived here, you would know that that's a bit of a joke, because Halifax is so not accessible for people in wheelchairs. It is ridiculous. In fact, we have businesses that expect that somebody in a wheelchair will essentially have to flag somebody down to get a server to bring a temporary ramp out. Like, that's been a thing that has been expected, and it's like, what? You know, there's businesses, we have a whole street called Argyle Street, and there's like 3 businesses on this whole street that if you're in a wheelchair, you could actually access. And I can think of only one business owner on the street who really made sure that that was a thing. The others just happened to be. I mean, to be fair, one of them happens to be a convention center. It's crazy. Like, it's like when they made a big deal about having the buses say what stop they were going to be at and stuff like that, and they're like, we're doing this great thing, and actually it's like, it's a federal mandate. You were supposed to have done it like 2 years ago when they finally did it. You know, it's just, it's hard because, like, you don't want to harp on about it because you know you sound like a broken record, and people will say like, oh, you should feel comfortable, you know, it's not a big deal, you should talk about it because, like, people don't know. But it's like, when you have to keep reminding people, you have to keep saying it, you have to keep talking about it, it's wearing on you. You know what I mean? People talk about emotional labor, and I'm like, that's not a thing, but I guess it is a thing. Anyway, I was really pissed off for Molly, and it's really shitty, and like, you shouldn't have to basically trick an Uber or a taxi driver to be able to get a lift. Like, you shouldn't. Like, and the fact of the matter is that these companies, if they're, you know, if they have, like, they should be training people to understand that, like, service animals need to be allowed to get in their car, and if not, then, like, stupid. Like, I don't think, and the worst part is, like, for her sake and everything, like, you want to say, like, oh yeah, no, they don't know, but, like, ultimately they do know. Like, people know. Service dogs aren't new. My brother's had a service dog. He had to retire his first one because he's too small. So he's been training his second guy for, it was actually more than a year now. And, like, taking him into Costco was ridiculous because the amount of old people that he has to deal with on a regular basis who want to pet the dog. Like, I'm not talking about children. Kids have been great. Like, I've seen so many kids, and so many parents are really great about, like, showing their kids. There was that one video of that one woman in, I think, Saskatchewan. I don't know where that woman was. You can totally, like, literally, if you just search woman screaming at service dog handlers, you'll probably find it. It was nuts because she's an asshole because it's against the law. And, you know, anybody who's like, you know, you can just be polite about it. I mean, the thing is, you can be polite about it the first time. Like, after the 50th time, it's, you know, and like, are the worst. They really are. Like, literally, and you can hear them like, oh, what is he need? It's like, lady, I will lay you out. Not okay. Need more chill. So it's the Molly Burke thing, like talking about how she's just decided she's gonna get a car because she can't do the thing that's normal. And I'm very curious to see so it's really hard. I'm gonna say this because as soon as she started talking about it, if you're fully sighted and you can drive, you probably wouldn't think that it would be really brutal. Really, really brutal to think that she's gonna have to buy a car so that she has dedicated. It's soaking very nicely. And this one in particular smells like peppermint bark. But yeah, wound up getting an email from a client saying like, everybody, take care of yourselves and self-isolate, don't be going in crowds and everything else. This is from the owner of the company who has to be out and about and owns a few companies and, a salesman. I think he was an engineer. Can't remember. Anyway, well-meaning, really, saying like, we expect an upturn in business because, well, I think it's pretty simple. There's going to be all these grad students who normally TA in classes, and so it holds back their research, and all of these researchers who are often tenured profs, and they have to have classes, and now loads of classes are being canceled, and now all they have to do is research, which they typically like anyway. So I'm just gonna put some of this on my hands and arms now, and then I think I'm all moisturized and everything. I don't typically put my hair up when I sleep. I do know that it's more damaging to have it down, but I also know that it drives me insane. I do often put it up in a braid or something, but like, don't always. It's not, like, I'm not, in that case, I'm not doing it as like a protective style of any kind, or, it's just oftentimes I'm like, oh, it'd be really cute if I had braid waves tomorrow, or, oh, I still have a braid in, I'm just gonna leave that so that I don't have to brush it. Yeah, other than that, just trying to stay healthy, trying to do that. That's been the big game. Because, boss sends around this email, and then I'm emailing to my project manager, and I'm like, I've been training for this for years, and she's like, yeah, I know, me too. Yeah. I don't know, the world is like, I just keep saying I don't know, because like the world is nuts. The world is nuts. Anyway, I've been yammering for nearly an hour. In fact, probably an hour. And Yep, that'll be an hour. Anyway, I'm gonna go to sleep. Look at that. This is a terrible angle. When am I gonna learn to get better angles? Probably when I replace my webcam. Yeah, that'll be it. Actually, if anybody made it this far in and knows of a decent, I think really the camera quality on my phone is actually really great. I think I'm just gonna get a tripod for this. So if anybody can think of a tripod that would work for this, that would be really great. Anyway, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go to sleep. Big day of work tomorrow and hiding inside from strangers. Also, it's gonna rain like a bastard. It's not gonna be fun. I will talk to you guys soon. You guys have a fun, safe, and happy time, and stay healthy. Oh my God, stay healthy, because it's super gross out there. All right, cheers. Night, guys.